We're going to start with some news out of Chicago. The Northsiders finalized a deal with the Marlins to acquire Edward Cabrera. This is from Jeff Passan. The Chicago Cubs have acquired right-hander Edward Cabrera in a trade with the Miami Marlins that sends top outfield prospect Owen Caissie and two other hitting prospects to Miami, sources tell ESPN. Deal is done and official. Players are being informed now. So the righty is under club control for the next 3 years. Cabrera had career bests in starts, innings, and strikeouts in 2025. But see why he's had various arm injuries, elbow tendonitis, a shoulder impingement, a sprained elbow. But we want to get some more details on this. So for that, let's go ahead and welcome in Jesse Rogers, who covers the White Sox and Cubs for ESPN. And Jesse, a huge arm added to the Cubs. So how does Edward Cabrera fit into the Cubs rotation for 2026?
Well, they wanted him in 2025. They went after him early last offseason. Didn't get done. They tried to pivot to Jesus Luzardo. That didn't work out. So here we are a year later. Remember, they kind of ran out of gas on the mound in the postseason. They passed up Shota Imanaga for Game 5 against the Brewers in the division series. Matthew Boyd was a little bit gassed. I mean, they ran out of arms. So they needed to bolster them. Justin Steele is coming back from an elbow injury. They needed to bolster that starting rotation, and they do that with Edward Cabrera, just a live arm, great secondary stuff, 150 strikeouts and 137 innings pitched. Not, a lot of strikeouts in the Cubs rotation as constituted. So Cabrera adds something that they maybe don't have necessarily, but they do now. Jamison Tyon's there, Shota there, Cade Horton, emerging young players. So that staff is looking better and better. That rotation is looking better and better. And it's pretty clear they pivoted from some high-priced free agent starters to a guy like Cabrera, who's probably going to make a couple million next year, or a little bit more than that after making 1.95 last year. So it's a cheaper option. He's under control for 3 years, and now their starting staff looks like something that's deep enough to go 6 or even 7 months into the postseason, like they did a little bit last year, playing into the second round.
Yeah, Jesse, as I see the depth that they have, I'm probably matching up Edward Cabrera right after Matthew Boyd, give you some different looks, but they did not come cheap. The Cubs, I remember Owen Caissie coming up last year. The team was so excited to see what he was capable of. He was a little bit blocked by Kyle Tucker, now potentially Kyle Tucker being gone. To give up Owen Caissie, what are the Marlins getting from this young stud right here?
Big, strong guy. Who doesn't like those types, right? He actually ended his season crashing into the Wrigley wall, the brick there, catching a fly ball. So he's a gamer, right? He had a concussion, ended his year, but he looked good at the plate in very limited action. But remember, this is a contending team down the stretch, filling in for Kyle Tucker. A lot of chances to fail in a lot of ways, or look bad or look overmatched. He didn't. I like him as well. I'm based in Chicago. I saw him a lot. I think they're giving up something here, but you got to give up something to get something. The Cubs don't have a lot of big, strong athletes, and that's one thing I'm like, oh, I would have liked Owen Caissie in right field replacing Kyle Tucker. So to me, the Cabrera deal didn't shock me because I know they've been after him for a while. Cabrera's name's been out there. It's what the Cubs do next that's going to be very interesting because you really have opened up another spot on the roster for a bat. Even though Caissie was a prospect, there was a lot of potential in there, and I thought he was going to get a lot of run in right field. Now, for the moment at least, Seiya Suzuki goes back to right field. He actually played well defensively, had a great year offensively. You kind of opened up your DH spot. They have a young guy in Moises Ballesteros that's going to get time there. But in general, there's an opening in that lineup. It is I would say a tenuous, I don't know how to put it, offense right now. If you go to camp, they need a little bit more. They needed more with Caissie. I think they certainly need more offensively without him.
Could you put a percentage on the possibility of a reunion with Kyle Tucker?
I would put it very low, very low. There just hasn't been much in terms of conversations there. I know that Tucker has some shorter and longer term deals. You never say never on anything, but you would think they'd be in conversations with him. He played for them. So it just feels like that horse has left the barn. Now with this opening, again, things change, right? I didn't know if Caissie would be in a deal for Cabrera, but now that he is, you have to circle back to the options. There's 4 big hitters out there. And whether it's a guy at third base like Bichette or Bregman that moves Matt Shaw around, and then and gives a little more DH time to an older player like Bregman, for example. And in a year when Nico Horner is a free agent, maybe Matt Shaw moves to second, or you sign Bichette, he eventually plays second. Like, all of a sudden, the possibilities open up that don't have to do with right field, because you do have a guy in Seiya Suzuki there right now. So to me, it's more about like DH and one of the infield positions, specifically maybe third, where you can get a big bat. But I've been reluctant to feel the Cubs are going to go huge money on one of these guys, but maybe they circle back on a shorter-term deal, or maybe they decide we need that big offensive bat, and we'll pay for it because our starting staff now looks that much better.
Jesse, always such good stuff with you. Thanks for dropping the knowledge, and give Chicago a big hello from me.
Will do. Great seeing you guys. Be well.